anybody has any questions, and here are the answers, I think. You can ask me anything you want. So we have mind, our imagination, which is huge, intuition, our emotional bodies, okay? And you want to think about the nurturance of all of those things, the nurturance, and it's not being selfish to nurture those qualities or those assets or those parts of our beings. So, and you must trust your intuition, like I was saying early on. If for 1 minute I would have not paid attention to that vision on the highway, none of this probably would have happened. But I acknowledged it and I went, wow. And I went with it, even though it was completely abstract to me. I felt in my heart I knew what I had to do. And I get a lot of people, when I'm counseling them, they go, how do I know that it's my heart, that it's my calling? I said, you'll know it. It won't go away. It's relentless. It keeps you up at night. It wakes you up in the morning. It's like, okay, I gotta do this. It's like, makes people think I'm crazy. I can't wait to get to work. They go, what? But I mean, and I can't wait to see my patients. They're like my family now. It's like, you know, in the hospital, I'm not supposed to hug anybody. I changed that one real quick. Because, you know, there's this HIPAA laws and blah, blah.
Oh,
you know, but it's like...
Helps to be female.
I know, it's true. That's true. But, you know, it's like they expect me to hold their hand. They expect me to get on my knees at their wheelchair. They expect me to be there for them. They love that. You're acknowledging me. I'm not just a person in bed. I'm a real person, and you make me feel that way.
I have a question. What was your job in the hospital?
I do pastoral care and motivational work with stuff. And, you know, and it's not that I'm reading to them. I do that too. But, you know, it's by action.
Art? Do you teach?
Yeah, I do art therapy. I do all sorts of stuff. And, you know, we get messy together.
Fun.
It's wonderful. Oh, it's such great work. Anyway, but, you know, I get so much on my soapbox when I'm talking about this stuff because it's so important that we all go out there and self-generate and self-motivate and go out there and get behind because we're here to do that, especially with your consciousness. You know, I don't have to explain it to any of you. You know what this is. You understand it, especially with your, I mean, when I was doing with Barnes & Noble, you know, I'd have to explain it. It's like, what's so obvious? It used to drive me crazy because it's like, what do you mean?
They need to understand. They'll feel it in here, maybe, hopefully.
You have to get it through the mind gateway.
I know,
You
it's
get that
like,
to hear it, yeah.
exactly, yeah, this has to be open first. But it's like common sense is not common. I'm sure you've heard that one before. Yeah.
Have you noticed that the masses have caught up in a way?
Yeah.
That there's been so much reading and so many
Yay.
people like us, conscious creatives that are out there doing our work that
Yes.
are so hungry for spirituality.
Oh, yeah, and the Celestine prophecy
Yeah.
makes more sense to a lot of people
Yeah.
now. You
Yeah.
know?
Yay. Our side.
Exactly.
Yay. Yay, kindness is good, yay.
Yeah, what a relief. When I
I know.
started doing therapy, it was like, you know, the right
Oh.
people would show up, but then, you know,
Yeah.
it was like, you know, like you, just have to explain more and
Oh,
on the
yeah.
head level. Now it's just, we just get to
Yeah,
work.
it's like I
and
don't have to like
work.
explain it.
Yeah.
And break it down. You know, sometimes when some of these people come to me, I counsel police officers and their wives, and the guys will come in and the police will come in and they'll sit on my couch like, And I laugh at him,
Yeah.
because you don't know what you're in for.
Yeah.
I'm gonna play with your little kid. And I'm like, what? My little kid, you know, and then after they realize what I'm doing with them, they're like, oh, their body language relaxes, they start communicating with their wives.
Yeah. Exactly.
Take your badge off when you get home, okay? Okay. So,
Yeah, I have to explain that to engineers too.
I know. And do you realize that we have 50 thoughts a day? 50,000 thoughts a day. 50,000 thoughts! What are you gonna do with those thoughts? Louise used to say, what kind of thought do you want to build your life? A nice awakening process too is, how do you feel when you wake up in the morning? It's like, another day. Or hooray, I get to get up.
Yeah, might give me another day to do all this cool stuff with.
I know.
Yeah.
I remember when she first asked me that, I had to crack up, because when I was working for corporate, I used to set my alarm clock far enough away to where I'd have to get up and turn it off. One morning, I'm like, I can reach it. And I fell out of bed. And I was on the floor, and I'm laughing to myself going, is this a wake-up call?
Wake-up call. More ways than one.
Oh, that is as clear today as it was 30 years ago. I swear to God, or something, 25 years or something, I'm losing count. So, she also says, be uncomfortable in order to change. Man, oh man, oh man, oh man, do I remember that one? Be uncomfortable. Ew, most of us are so creature comforts, you know. I don't want to.
I don't understand, how do you be uncomfortable? I don't know.
Well, if you feel like you haven't done enough, or you're uncomfortable in your being, something's itching to get out, something wants to do more. And it's like, I don't like, you know, it's like if you're doing something you pretend like you're enjoying it, but you're not. Something's going, get out of here. That's the uncomfortableness. You know, get out of the comfort zone. You know, it's like, I was so there. Oh, I was so there. Because, you know, again, when I started to paint and go out and lecture and sign books, that was so beyond my comfort zone. It was like, you know, it was so frightening and intimidating, but I had to get over it. So there.
Yeah,
So stop it. Feel the fear, do it anyway.
well, public speaking.
Oh. And the more I got used to it, the more I started speaking my truth, then it became effortless, because I loved what I was talking about. I got interested in what I was talking about because I'm giving other people information. That's all. It's not about me. You know, it's not about my big fat ego. It's about helping other people. That's all that's all I care about. Is why
You were gonna say rat's ass, weren't you?
I was. But I'm being taped, so I said that.
Very good.
See, I'm still human. I'm still human. I'm still in my earth suit.
I think they should make a movie called My Big Fat Ego.
My big fat ego. That was so true.
Yeah.
So true.
That'd be fun.
So, and then, and how did you know? See, he's smart. See, I'm still human.
Pure projection.
So think about your goals. Again, I can't talk enough about goals and intentions. So imagine what you want and visualize it. Visualize it. See it already done. And it's fun to do. Crank on some music in the background and see yourself like you're on stage. You know, think of yourself on stage in your own mind. And have fun with it. See it done. Make vision boards. Do affirmations. Get crazy. Get wild and crazy with what you want. And always ask yourself, what am I looking forward to? What am I looking forward to next? And it's not just about, could be today, going out of here or doing something fun for you. Buy yourself a dozen roses. Do something cool for you. Take a bubble bath. Hug a baby. Or that dog, wherever he is. He's so cool. I just love him. So, you know, and forgive yourself and others. That's a huge stumbling block. You know, that was big for me at first. She says, you know, what are you hanging on to? You can't go backwards. Can't go backwards. Forgiveness is a gift to yourself. Forgiveness is absolutely a gift to yourself. And she says, that doesn't mean condoning poor behavior. It means letting go of our baggage around it. Because, you know, there's so, you know, I think people are doing the best at any given time in their life with the conscious and awareness that they have at that time. And if they don't know how to do something else other than what they're doing, they're going to keep doing it until they go, oh, that's not the right way to do it anymore. All right, is anybody in here familiar with Gilel Gibran? His work? My favorite author of all time is Louise, but he wrote, and I use it a lot when I'm counseling people. I say, he writes, if somebody has given me a snake when I've asked for a fish, I will accept the fish, I will accept the snake, because maybe that's all they have to give. And that's so profound, because that's their consciousness, that's all they know how to give.
Could you spell that name?
Yeah, Gilel, it's K-A-H-L-I-L, Gibran, G-I-B-R-A-N.
Oh, okay.
He wrote, The Prophet is his most
Prophet,
famous.
the Prophet.
Oh, just love his writing. And, you know, I've got every book he ever wrote, I collected. I've been collecting his work since I was 10. So something's going on. Even before the angels descended upon me going, "Rah." So, you know, but that is profound. She says, if you treat yourself like your friends, would you have any? And that's not one of her statements, but I read it somewhere and I said, that's really cool. So treat yourself as someone you dearly loved. Treat yourself as you would your own best friend. So,
Wow, that's profound.
I know, isn't that true? Because,
Did you say that backwards? If you treat your friends as you treat yourself, would you have any?
mhm,
Yeah,
yeah.
If you beat yourself up, if you did
It's
that,
like,
your friends, they would want it. Yeah,
and then also,
yeah.
pay attention to your fears. What fears do you have, and how can you eradicate the fear? And how you eradicate the fear is by not acknowledging it. Thank you for sharing. It's just trying to keep you safe.
Yeah.
The fears are there for safety. You know, it's for, you know, don't walk out in the middle of the traffic. Duh. But, you know, it's like, think of the fears as trying to protect you, and then thank you for sharing. It's like when I was going through all that fear, going, you know, how am I gonna survive? Being an artist, it's like, held my nose and jumped. Crazy life. Anyway, but it's all good. So acknowledge your fears, and acknowledge any dark corners, any anger, any guilt that comes up. Thank you for sharing. Let it go. Let it go. It's like, get rid of the hitch on the back of you. You know, this is a whole new day. Today is the first day of the rest of your life. I love that. I don't know whoever wrote that, but I said, that's a cool thing to say. So, acknowledge the past, the present. Acknowledge it. Acknowledge that it happened. Acknowledge that you're here right now. Acknowledge that you're going forward to better things. And keep doing your affirmations, because I'm telling you, they work. How they work, I don't know. It's like magic sometimes to me. In fact, the one affirmation that I still get blown away by is, when I moved to the office in '97, there was everything in there but the kitchen sink in my office complex. We had insurance salesmen, we had witch doctors. You should have seen the entry hall to my office now. It looked like an old rehab house. An old bed, couches not matching. It was like, oh, it was so inviting. And I said, I see this as a healing center. How in the world, the whole complex are psychologists now and doctors. I'm like, was that me? put it out there, but it's like, and I love all my teammates. I mean, you know, hey Karen, how you doing? I'm the only minister in there. They don't treat me any different, thank God. Are you thinking you're a psychologist? It's like, you know more than me. But you know what? We all do the same work. We're all trying to fluff everybody. It's like, come on. You know, and I love that part of our work. I just think that's the coolest thing. I have no idea how long I'm supposed to talk. You need to,
About 10 more minutes.
you need a cane.
We're just soaking it up.
Oh, I love it. So, and, you know, I want you to write this down too. These are, it's like a negative, positive approach. But think of any negative self-talk. Anything, I'm not good enough, you know, anything that comes up, could be anything, no matter what. Could be a list as long as your arm on one thing. And then write a counteractive affirmation to displace that. And it's not like you're lying to yourself, but your subconscious mind starts to adhere to the new message, it's going to run with it. You know?
Because, you don't even have to worry about whether or not it's true, because the old one wasn't true.
Exactly. Exactly. And they've even done like science things on it. If you drop cold, clear water into mud, it eventually the stuff out. And they've even done the same thing with snowflakes, or was it snowflakes or
That's the Dr. Emoto's
yes,
water.
that's the water.
The water, yeah.
And thoughts,
Mm-hmm.
our thoughts will change the structure. Isn't that
Frozen water.
amazing?
Yeah, it is incredible. Yeah.
So thoughts are things. Have any of you seen The Secret?
No. Yeah.
Yeah, but there's one thing, there's like one statement in that whole thing that says, thoughts are things. I'm going, yeah. And, you know, it's like, I've had people argue with me about that, but no, it's not. They're just thoughts. I'm going, let me talk to you. And it's like, have you ever, and the way I explain it is quite elementary. I mean, I go, is somebody watching that room right now, and they were in a bad mood, and they're having a really bad day, they were saying a word, you could feel their energy. You don't have to go, hey, how you doing? Fine. But if they walk through the door and they're in a great mood, it'd light up the whole room. penetrate darkness. Darkness cannot penetrate light. I just think that's the coolest thing I ever heard, and I don't know where, that wasn't from Louise, but I remember hearing that, and I went, wow, that's so true. Because, you know, no matter how much darkness you have, if you have light come in, it's gonna change the energy. And even if you're standing in line, you can tell if somebody's standing behind you, yes? And they don't have to be saying anything, but you can, I mean, people like us, we can feel subtle energy, so it may not be a person at all, but people turn around and say hi, acknowledge it. So, God's ordains. It's really hard.
Thank you for coming. Thanks for having me.
Yay.
You can come anytime.
Okay,
We're
thank
here.
you.
I appreciate that.
Thanks so much for coming, nice to
Okay,
meet
bye-bye.
you. In order to make room for the new, you have to get rid of the old. So that means throwing away garbage, things in your closet, things in your drawers that you no longer know, oh, I'll use this again. I got on a tirade about a month ago, and I started going through my closet. I will never wear that again. I wore that when I was 10. I think it's time to throw it away. But it's shoes you don't wear. It's things clean house. And everybody says I'm one of those ones that throw everything away. Well, if I don't need it anymore, I toss it. I get rid of it. It makes room for new.
Yeah.
New energy. New this, new that.
How do you change your mindset on that? How
How
did
do
you?
How do you just do
How
it?
did you?
I just, it took a while, but you know, it's like I said, you know, do I really need this? No, I don't need this, and I threw it away. And I have, you won't believe how many times I've moved in my life. You go, what? But I think I learned how to do that from all the times I've moved. You know, I've moved many, many times. And each time I'd move, I'd go, do I need this? No. In the dumpster, when my mother got ill, I had to sell her home in 2000. And I had to go through that house, and I had to put everything away by myself. I couldn't, there's nobody looking over my shoulder going, we gotta keep that. And there was a dumpster outside the house. It was big, and I filled it up. My mother would collect boxes. What? We need it for Christmas. Mom, we need it for next Christmas. No, we don't. So I started to throw things away. You know, she had a hot water bottle in one of the linen closets that nobody had used in 30 years. And I went, what do we still have this for? And I had to throw that away. But you know, you just know. It's annoying, and you just get rid of it. So, and I made notes to myself, making sure I'm not missing anything. And she says, find mentors and support yourself with conscious-minded people. Don't hang with people that say, that's stupid, that won't work. You know, even though there's a lot of negative people out there, you know, it's like, try to socialize and be with people that understand what in the world you're doing and talking about. You know, it's like, you know, I went to work for the hospital, and it looked at me like an albatross. It's like, we can't think things with positive thoughts. Yes, you can. And now they're going, oh, this is great, woo-hoo. You know, no, not them playing, but it's like changing the thoughts from dross to gold. You know, because you do have, you're all amicus.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Thank you for
Bye.
coming. And I think it's 10:45. That means I better shut up. But, I hope that's just a nitpick of just little tiny, this is a drop in a bucket compared to when I've learned, you know, since I've been doing work for her. Anybody have any questions?
It's all good stuff.
It's all good
It's all
stuff.
good stuff.
Yeah, I really, I just,
You definitely surround yourself with people of a higher vibration. Because we're
yeah,
like tuning forks, we absorb that lower vibration,
tell
you
me.
know? And so we need that support constantly in
Oh,
our lives.
about it. That's the hardest thing. I am very transparent and I'm very sensitive to energy.
Mhm.
Oh, so I have to constantly, like this morning, thank you. I needed that. Because I mean, I'm like, you know,
We're like tuning forks, we vibrate to what's around us.
woo! So I mean, that's been hard to learn now to not pick up and not take it personal.
Yeah.
Because, you know, I am so sensitive and I feel the grass growing and I don't like that sometimes, you know, but it's like,
It's just the way we are, we're authentically sensitive.
you know,
It's a gift with a two-edged sword.
Yeah.
isn't that the truth? Wow. But,
Yeah.
you know, you learn how to acclimate, I think, that's the only way I can describe it. But, you know, my roommate, I sublease my office from him because I'm at the hospital so much. But, you know, she's a 72-year-old Indian woman and she's a psychologist and I love her. I say namaste to her and she doesn't look at me funny, she knows exactly what I mean. And she is so cool. And I told her, I said, Gurminder, I'm so sensitive, I don't like it. And she says, Karen, how else could you do your work?
Right, exactly.
And I went, yeah. But she is a kindest, amazing human being, little tiny, she's so sweet. Hope her ears are ringing this morning, oh, it's Karen again.
Only the good news.
Only the good stuff. So, oh, one other thing I want to read to you really, really quickly. And we got 5 more minutes. Okay. All right. I want you to make notes of these. These are the coolest things. So, how would you like to spend your time? And write it down. Contemplate over how would you like to spend your time? And Fay Ray from Wizard of Oz. You come to grant your 3 wishes. How would you like to spend your time? You know.
Ignore that guy behind the curtain.
No, I'm kidding. What do you enjoy doing? What do you enjoy doing? Very important. You know, to think about what do you enjoy doing, not for everybody else, what do you like to do? What do you like to do? I'm so shallow, I like to stay in bed at night with my cat here in my room. That's shallow. It's comforting as I go home, and I'm like, okay, nobody can get me in here. So, what does the ultimate love relationship look like to you? The ultimate love relationship.
The love that comes from within.
Yeah.
And just, you can feel it, it comes out. And it just
Isn't that
springs.
cool? To love yourself. And not from being vain, but to seriously love yourself.
You give yourself a hug.
Yeah, Louise is always saying, how would you treat, you know, she says, treat yourself as someone you really loved. And that stuck with me, really got me good. So, she says, what does infinite abundance look like? Infinite abundance. Wow.
It's a big vision.
Phew. And even though I wrote this down a long time ago, I wrote peace, unconditionality, joy for everyone. That was a long time ago. So, in which situations do you feel most confident? Where do you feel most confident? What you're doing and what you're saying, how do you feel? Where do you feel the confidence? What empowers you? So, what does perfect order look like? Wow, that's a big one. Perfect order.
Ooh.
My goodness.
I think you have to define that a little bit more.
Yeah.
I
That
know,
would be stressful.
perfect order. Wow. Wow. I could write a book on that one, goodness gracious. People getting along? I'm right, no, I'm right.
We're all right.
I know! And I'm going, why do we have to argue? Anyway,
Because my perfect order looks different from your perfect order.
yeah, no kidding. Yeah, it's like your order's better than my order. Describe the most beautiful thing you've ever seen. The coolest stuff I've ever had. If somebody could look through this binder and go, whoa, all the things that have accumulated over all these years. But anyway, my affirmation for all of you is that you go out and you live your lives to the fullest and best you can be. Yay. And still be human in the meantime. Still be human. But, you know, go out there and make a difference. Make a difference. Even if it's in the grocery line, make a difference. And if you guys need to reach me, I'm as accessible as anything. And if you'd like my card, I have them with me, but feel free to call me, contact me for any reason. I'm happy to hear from you. Have a great day.
Yay. You know what, I felt so much permission from you just to be my authentic self.
Oh, you need
Loud and
I
proud.
can't imagine you being anybody but you.
Well, no, I have my fears too. Yeah. Yeah.
Borrow this thing you did.
Oh, you can
That's
have
it.
it.
You want me to just?
Yeah, you can, or
Share it.
you can share it.
Just want to read what's inside.
Oh, and do whatever you want with it. If you want to pass it along to someone